Hey guys, welcome back. Now our car machine is being installed, being updated and being ready for action. Now it can start hacking, but now, as I said, this video tutorial is not about hacking, it's about making it work great and nice because when you're having your own operational system, your own workspace and worksheet, you want to be basically to feel in that comfort of your own configuration. So basically that's my opinion. Of course you are free to have your own, but my opinion is that your operational system should be basically aligned great and should work great to have enough fun and pleasure while using them. So now I'm just gonna open a terminal and let's proceed to the configuration. So here I'm gonna type apt-get install, let's say kheti shell. Yeah, so kheti plasma desktop. Run that command. As you can see, a lot of space is gonna be arranged here. Click yes, and now it's gonna start installing the different desktop environment. So now you may ask, what's a desktop environment? And basically I'm gonna explain it to you while this is installing. So back in the days, Linux or Unix was only used for its command line, and which is making it really most powerful tool. But since the technology are upgrading, the Linux found a way to basically create a graphical user interface like a Windows one and to stick with its shell and its power below the hood, under the hood. So that's why they created a desktop environment, because they want to represent the things visually. As I said back in the days, the only thing you see is just a huge terminal like that, when you can type commands, arrange files, and everything is done from here, just from that black terminal. But now, as you see, the technology are getting better and better and better, and even though there are people who are using Unix and Linux only for that utility, their operating system is being working as hell, as ugly as anything you can imagine, but they don't need anything to work pretty because they are using the terminal. But if you are into the guys which do want some prettiness in your operational system, now this video is completely for you. So that's why they make so-called desktop environments, and they are used to basically display anything like Windows do, like Mac do, and so on. There are different desktop environments which comes with different pre-installed options and different basically specifics for the desktop environment. Let's say the kheti desktop environment has its own store for themes and so on. The Deepin desktop environment, which I really like, has again its own store and the specifics about that desktop environment. The GNOME, the Unity of Ubuntu 60 and so on. So basically there are different desktop environments having different configuration, options and specifics for their proper work. The Linux distributions come pre-installed with some of the desktop environment. Now just click yes. Okay. Now just click again. Okay. So basically the Linux systems comes with predefined desktop environments. The Kali Linux one can support and comes by default with the GNOME one. Basically, I think the most famous one is GNOME. Ubuntu uses GNOME, Mint has I think an option for using GNOME, Kali uses GNOME, and Debian uses GNOME, and many more. So basically, the one that we've installed before was GNOME, right? So we are installing a different one. Any distro can support up to several desktop environments, like Ubuntu can support again kheti, GNOME, Xfce, I think, Kali can support 2xFace. So in order to basically have more knowledge, of course, we need just to basically use our old friend Google. Right, so close one of the windows, go to Google, now type here Linux desktop environment. And now you're gonna end up with a list of all different desktop environments. So we have Xface, GNOME, LXD, Mate, Cinnamon, and so on and so on and so on. So right now we are installing kheti Plasma 5. So you see there are multiple desktop environments, and you may ask, why are there so much desktop environments? Well, the reason is quite simple, because there are so much Linux distributions. As you should know, Linux is basically an open source product. Open source means that there is no one who owns that software. Everyone can freely use, everyone can freely modify. So there are a lot of people who are basically modifying their kernel for optimizing process. There are a lot of people who basically write their own operational system based on that Linux kernel from the previous one. So that's why there are multiple desktop environments and multiple distributions, because everyone can write its own. You can even write your own distro, your own desktop environments, if you have the skills, of course. So different companies or different people are writing different distributions, and also they would like to have their own graphical representations of the files and all things inside. So they write their own desktop environment. But nowadays most of the distros are stick with the main ones: kheti, GNOME, Xface, Cinnamon, and so on. So these are the most famous one and the most used one. Of course, if you want, you can create your own, you can stick with that. But here we are not talking about hacking, we are talking about developing an operational system, which is out of our range. So that's the answer of the question why there are so much desktop environments and why there are so much distributions out there. So of course, the different desktop environments comes with specific packages. Like kheti comes with the packages of Dolphin file manager, Conqueror as file browser, and so on. So basically the installation is now done. And now the only thing we have to do is just to reboot our system. Yeah, that's all you have to do, reboot. And after our system is being rebooted, we have to choose what desktop environment to use. If you have a glitch like that, you can just click Ctrl Alt and Enter 2 times to refresh that page, or just wait a little bit. So by refreshing the page, you are fixing the resolution, so everything is going smoothly okay. Now we have to wait a little bit. Now the desktop environment, the default one, is being loaded up. We have a mouse. Imagine just a whole screen of one terminal, and that's all you have to do. You can do basically. But when I'm talking about advanced Linux, we don't use anything graphical. So just click root here, type sorry, and now type your password, but do not be rushy to click sign in. Type your password. And now click this little button right here, icon, and now choose to Plasma. Sign in, and now by selecting desktop environment, it's starting the selected desktop environment. But the point is that we have to click it manually. And basically, if you installed a kheti edition, we gonna get default Plasma desktop environment. Of course, as I said, it's up to you to decide. You can install kheti. The installation procedure is 100% same, but you won't have basically GNOME desktop environment, and you want to basically have install it manually if you want it in the future. So this is our kheti right here. It's being loaded up, and as you can see, the resolution automatically fixed up to 1920 x 1080. And if that wallpaper looks glitchy, just wait a little bit. It takes time to basically adjust the wallpaper to your screen. So now we are into kheti, and as you can see, it's not working pretty nice, right? It's working not that good. But let's just browse the kheti and see what is the difference between GNOME and kheti. So we have a start menu, which is called application launcher. And this start menu, of course, has all the application inside. So from here, if you type Motigo, let's say, we can cast Motigo. If you type Metasploit or Armitage, we have the tools here. Like you have Windows, you have searching Windows, but here we are searching for the tools in Linux. Therefore, we have the tools for updated, an icon for updates, an icon for our sound control, an icon for notifications, battery, device notifier, and clipboard. Therefore, we have a clock with a calendar inside. In that calendar, I think we can create events. We're gonna see that in future. Today, oh, okay. So now, maybe not. This calendar does not support events, I think. We can pinpoint that. Nice. So here, remove that, and now we have an icon which, upon clicking, is basically enables us to edit our panel. So this right here is being called panel, and all the things here are so-called widgets. So we can configure this one, remove this one, remove this one, configure this one, and so on. So let's see what happens when you click configure on application manager. We have an icon. We have some options for that application manager, and we have the visible menus right here. So any widget has its own configuration window. So if I click here again and then configure the task manager, you see I have different options. But now we are onto the application manager, not the task manager and application launcher, sorry. So now we're gonna change the icon, choose. And the cool thing about the kheti, the one that I like the most, is that you can do whatever you want. You can change it how you like, and you can change it like literally whatever you want. You can change the application manager, the taskbar, you can add panels, you can add options, add something to that menu right here. Just do literally anything. Now maximize that, go to applications, O for simple usage, and on the search box we can type whatever we are searching for. In that case it might be kheti, because that's what I want to be there. If you want something else, of course, feel free to browse the icons sorry, feel free to browse the icons and choose what suits your need. So kheti in my case. Now click OK. Oh, sorry, go to choose again, go to maybe the application has that yeah, so we have kheti menu right here on applications. And if you go to O, you need to wait that again, and when type kheti you're gonna get that icon right here. No matter if you use kheti key or kheti menu, as you can see the icon is the same. Click apply, and now our icon has been changed right here. Nice. So now let's see what happens when we click right click on the desktop. We have create new folder, text file, even HTML file. See how good that is. Therefore let's create another one, text file. Nice. Now go to icons, arrange in rows, columns, that's depending on you again, sort by icon size. I prefer to use small icons right here, like that. I do not like huge icons. And you can even walk your icons, of course. We have refresh desktop with F5 again, it's still being refreshed. Now we can basically run command from here. From here, if I start typing, I'm getting to the same page. I can type here ping, let's say google.com. This basically for running a process right here, sorry. So from here, basically to run command, I'm basically need to type terminal, let's say, and the console is gonna pop up. So here I need to type ping if I want. So the next thing we can is to add widgets from here, and there are different widgets for different things. Let's say a clock, or for Bluetooth, of course, for brightness or anything like calendar and so on. So even clipboard, mounted device, display configuration, and so on. The cool thing about that is we can just click here, get new widgets, and then we're gonna get that from that Plasma store I was talking about. So before that, I want to try and play around with this one. With the right click, we have configure options again for different widgets, and we have even a remove option. Remove that, remove that. If you hold and click and hold again, I mean just mouse over your item, click and hold without moving, you are now engaging with that property or specific details when you can move your widget. Like click here, hold, and now you can move. Without that, it's really hard to move any widget whatsoever. You cannot mark them because this is working only for your desktop files right here. So you have to click and hold and then move. From this window right here, you can change basically its size. From this window right here, we can rotate. From this window right here, we have the options. Apply. Yeah, nice. So now this is basically the thing I want to mention about the widgets. And there is one more thing that Plasma supports, and it's alternatives. So any widgets right here which is working on Plasma, not any but most of them, has so-called alternatives. So let's try first to zoom out that calendar, and then let's just configure that. Week number, let's see. Okay, so now let's right click that and specify alternatives. So we can go with digital clock, analog clock, and so by switching the alternatives, we are switching the widgets. So enough of the widgets, you can just go there and play around with your own. So if you want something to be stored on your desktop, of course you can, let's say for example, just drag it here, move here, copy here, and in here. I prefer the copy one. So copy here, and now we have the file manager. Now let's talk about the terminal. So basically the desktop environments comes with their own terminals, and this one is coming with so-called console with K instead of C. So the console is basically a normal terminal. It's working with the same commands. There is no difference in commands whatsoever between different terminals. Like if I open up extern right here, the command is going to be quite the same, but they look different. So as I said, this is the same reason the desktop environment comes with predefined terminal. And that's it. You can install different terminals. You can install GNOME terminal, you can install Cinnamon terminal. Basically you can install anything you want. It's Linux, all software is open, you can install and do whatever you want. So the commands are the same, but just the appearance is different. But this terminal have like a lot of options and can be really configured to do a lot of things, like to look like extraordinary. And it's easy to configure, it's easier to configure the console. And I really like the console. The default font is okay, the default font size is okay. Of course, this can be configured as well, but I like that terminal emulator. So just close that for a second, and now open the menu, go to settings, system settings, and now the fun part begins. On system settings, just maximize that. Now go to workspace theme. We see how much settings we have about literally anything. So under the workspace theme we have look and feel, and we have two default themes which comes with basically the kheti Plasma. We have a breeze, which we are running right now, and we have a breeze dark, which we're gonna switch right away. Apply, and now you see everything become black. If I manage to open my terminal, let's say you see now these white lines became black, and now the terminal looks much better. Yeah. So now everything looks better, and from here we have two things to have in common. We have look and feel, the theme for our Windows, and we have a desktop theme which is so called a shell theme. So if I basically put an oxygen, see what can happen. Is changing our shell theme, which is our taskbar in our case, but the applications in the desktop theme is still being the breeze dark. We have a cursor theme, which I really like to put in that adwaita here, right? And now we have a splash screen of our kheti plasma loading. So we're gonna start from here, actually from here, and export or basically install some packages that we want. Get new works, maximize that, and see how much packages we have even for Kali. Because as I said, the repositories are different, and these packages are supported by Kali Linux. They have them in common. Install things you need and things you will need. You can just open that and see how it works, and then make a better, let's say, opinion of that. So I'm gonna install a few more, like that. Pitch Black is a nice name. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back, close that. I'm gonna go to desktop theme. Okay, then I'm gonna basically go to get a new theme and search for Gotham. This is the one that I most likely use. Nice. So now the experimental part is beginning. Like, you have to literally play around with different options, see how they work, basically see what works for you. So basically just try with that Ank one. So click apply. See, it's more like a blue one. See, it's changing our options for minimize, maximize, and exit. So this is a pretty nice theme. Just literally now it's your turn to play around and see what works the best for you. I'm just interested in seeing that pitch black theme. Oh, this one is really nice. Shamrock. Yep. See, it's really nice. It's that dark green. Yep. So we have really different themes working this different way. So pitch black. I don't see that. Maybe it wasn't installed properly. Install again. Oh, this one is pretty nice as well. So back to back. Yep. Yeah, so literally this changes the icons as well. So here, see, the system settings are now like iOS. The file manager is like an iOS, so we can make literally a copy of a MacBook. Let's see the console. Yeah, so it's like a replica of MacBook. Okay, so now I'm gonna stick with the, let's say, Breeze Dark, the default one. Now to the desktop theme, I'm gonna choose Gotham. And see, it became dark, and basically these themes I really like the most, and it's making the work for me. Of course, you can play around with different ones, see how they work and how they manages. But as I said, the Gotham is rank 1 for me. Okay, so about look and feel, just choose a theme because I don't like that root icon right here. So choose a theme basically which replace that root icon with something more like interesting. So I'll go here. Let's try that. I'm gonna get new look. Let's see that. Let's see the OpenSUSE one. I don't need that. Okay, let's try that one. Nope. Let's see if we have forgotten here. Let's go for key shell. Just literally, this is the store, these are the icons, and make that suit your need. Just install everything that suits your need. That's the point here. Okay, let's see that one. Okay, so now see, everything has been changed. This one is pretty nice. I'm gonna use that if nothing else works, and if basically it works better and worse, sorry. These two change the icon, the Psion. Let's go and see the open source we saw that. Let's see Manjaro Dark. Yeah, so basically I think the Manjaro Dark and Santa Dark are working the best. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick for now with the Santa Dark. I'm gonna go one more try, or key shell. I forgot the key shell. Yeah, so the key shell is great again. So you can use basically whatever you want. So from the key shell, I like to use and change the colors, but now I'm gonna use the Santa Dark since I did not use that one before. Or Psion. What do you think, guys? Okay, so Psion one is better. Now here, go to desktop theme. Now go to, as I said, let's try Santa Dark, which is again really nice and pretty looking, as you can see. Nice, but I like to use Gotham. So here, now I need to open that pane, and here click configure the task manager, or I want to basically replace with alternative. Alternatives, and now I'm gonna place icon only task manager right here. So this is better for me. Nice. Now you can go to colors, and the point here is that you can change different colors by having a different desktop environment, a different workspace theme. So here as a workspace theme we have cyan, right? But on the colors I can go, let's say, with that one. And I'm still gonna have the icons of cyan, you see, but now I change only the colors, and you can change anything basically you want. Then again, the fonts, you can play around with this one. Icons are important as well, and you can install icons from here. But now let's go with that one, Vibrancy Carry Full Dark. Yep, so now the icons has been changed. You see the dolphin. Having that icon theme is again really important when we are talking about having a nice appearing operational system. So by changing the icons, as you can see, our root icon has been changed as well, so that's not what we wanted. And of course you can go and install different icons and play around with that icons as well. So I'm gonna stick with the Vibrancy Kali for now. And now go to application style. Just basically these options, there are a tons amount of options, and there is not enough time to explain every single one of them. So you can install that operational system, go with that options, and the next thing we have to do basically is to set up a nice wallpaper. So Firefox, go to Google, go to blackkarch wallpaper and specify the resolution. What I always like to do is basically pinpoint my console here, so it's on a hotkey, and I always like to basically arrange and create my screen a little bit bigger, that taskbar right here. So now go to images, choose a nice looking blackkarch wallpaper. This is my favorite one right here. Just save the image, pictures, save. Now go to your desktop, configure desktop. Now go to add image, go to here, wallpaper, choose that, apply. Now if you want to get rid of that default kheti desktop thing, just go to configure desktop, go to tweaks, and now show desktop toolbox here. Click OK, apply. And now basically this is up to you guys. Now you can basically choose any icon theme you want. The procedure is quite the same. Go to the store, get new, choose icon theme, install, try different combinations between workspace theme, desktop theme, icon theme. You can rearrange icons here. You can play around with different alternatives of different widgets. So that's why kheti is so great, because it has a variety amounts of things to do. You can configure literally anything. You can configure from the taskbar to the icons, literally anything. So you can play around with different options, choose what to happen here, choose what to show basically here. You can add new panels, you can add panel to the very top. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and see how beautiful it became just by installing several themes and several things, icon themes, workspace themes, and so on. So now it became really like a blackkarch. You can install things like Conky, and if you want to know more about Conky, feel free to read and watch videos about that. You can install different widgets which can help you do the work, and basically now you have a Kali Linux machine which is working pretty nice, and it's looking more than nice. So guys, I really appreciate you for watching, and we're gonna see you in the next blackkarch videos.